welcome to the channel. Against my better judgment, I've been talked into speaking through my reviews thanks to my assistant Amarr. I'm going to give him first shot at it today. Lanes are hooking a fair amount, so set the stage as far as the surface goes. Older surface, we use a long pattern with a lot of volume, but the fronts, there's a lot of built-in friction, so they tend to hook early here. That makes me think that most of the stuff we're throwing today is going to pick up pretty early. That's good for Amarr with his ball speed. With me, it's going to be a little bit more of a task to get it over the front because they are hooking. So what we're shooting for today is the level. New ball, it is course called Equalizer AI. It's a 259027, so pretty low diff, pretty high RG. And the new cover is called Regenerative Polymer Matrix. So supposed to be kind of urethane shape, but not urethane material, so should eliminate some carry down. Ball's going to absorb oil, but still very early, very front. Went with a pretty strong layout on this one. I went with a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 2. So that's pretty strong for me. That's definitely a see the front, smooth out the back end kind of reaction. So I'm going to let Amarr come in and throw some shots. I'll throw some behind him and we'll see what we're looking at.
Amarr found this ball very useful, even with the lane being somewhat broken down. Definitely more shape created than you see with urethane. The pitch black uses its energy too early, and when you're throwing it in and keeping it in the puddle, it doesn't give you a chance for the ball to come up and get back. He had to move right and get it into the friction much sooner. The IQ Tour 78U with its even harder 78 hardness cover has an even harder time getting through all of the carry down in the back end. Amarr also tried just opening the angle up a little bit from where he was playing to get the ball more left to right through the front with the level, and you can see even with changing the angle that much, it still really comes off the back end nicely. This angle makes the level and the pitch black much closer together. Amarr decided to see how far left he could get and still use the shim, and the level did keep coming around.
You do? So what do you think?
I mean, I liked it. It's I would say that it's earlier than a pitch black. Like, I would say it takes up the mid lane a little bit harder. To the IQ, it's probably much the same in terms of when they see the mid lane. Difference is the IQ, because all that core really wants to lock up in the lane, it feels like, and you kind of have to control that, you know, a little bit more. With that level, you don't have to worry about the ball really seeing the bail down lane. It seems like it has a lot more energy to keep going left in comparison to really any other urethane ball that I've thrown. It's still not like, you know, dead corner left like that, you know, blackout is, or something, you know, cleaner reactive, you know, something that's not necessarily made to see the front, but it doesn't make it any less down lane. Like, it's still controlled, smooth. I wouldn't call it left to right piece, but if I needed to get left, I wouldn't be afraid of it not coming back, which is really nice. I'm a lot more comfortable with that.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna restart these for me.
All right.
My first shots were kind of feeling the lane out, so I was a little further left than I really needed to be and rolling it, but I got away with a couple that way. I looked drastically improved when I moved a little further right and amped the speed up though. Getting right on top of the friction, I really love the way this ball rolls.
Comparisons. I have here the IQ 78U. This one has the C3 core, so it's 249029, so a little higher diff, quite a bit lower RG, so it's going to want to start sooner, and it's Control 78 urethane, so it's a 78 hardness, which takes away a little bit of the footprint. It's finished at 1,000, so that's kind of the way to even it out. They put a little bit more core in it because we had a little bit harder cover. So let's see how it compares to that level.
From the same alignment, the 78U just pushes too far down lane for it to be able to recover. 3 and 2 right, and it still doesn't retain the energy and needs to go through the pins.
Next comparison is going to be the pitch black. This one is the regular softness urethane that they originally did. Capacitor core 257022, so it's got the lowest diff of all the balls that we're throwing. Definitely a little higher RG, but this urethane should give it a little bit more footprint because it's not the really hard one. So let's see how it looks.
First shot from the same alignment picks up too soon. Moving left to find hold, and the ball doesn't pick its roll up and doesn't get back through the pins. Slowing the speed to let the ball shape more to hopefully make that up, and again it overreacts.
In terms of a weaker reactive, I brought out the Rotogrip Hustle X-Ray. This one is a Hustle core, which is 253030. So highest diff out of the balls we're throwing, higher RG, but it's VTC solid reactive. So not a really strong reactive cover, but reactive. So level was regenerative polymer matrix. Then the last two we did were urethane of different hardnesses. Now we're going to try an entry-level reactive.
To get the Hustle in play in the same area of the lane, I had to throw it over the front a little bit more. Then I threw the level the same way to see how it would react. The comparison balls provided a pretty good example of why I don't usually throw urethane in this house. The balls want to read the early friction in the lane beds too much, and the longer pattern makes them push down lane, which doesn't make them very useful for me most of the time. The level was definitely more in play. I think the difference in the strength of drillings made Amarr and I see the balls quite a bit differently.
That's all of them that we're throwing today. Levels available at all of the Revolutions Pro Shops locations. This ball's, I think it has the potential to be a very big deal, especially for sport patterns and pros, because if you can create urethane shape without urethane carry down, for one thing, it makes the transition into reactive balls easier when you're coming out of a urethane type shape, and it also lets you stay. It doesn't take away your shot in the back end as quickly because you're not seeing the carry down. So all of those like million micro adjustments you have to make with urethane, potentially you could not see that with this ball. So storm level, go out and try it and keep bowling up a storm.